Hey guys, welcome back to part 3 of 6.86 analysis. We have lost our Earth Spirit expert, but he did conclude as he ducked out that he is the Electro Pony of last patch. Alright, let's talk about Elder Titan.
That's what I heard. Let's go.
Yeah, Elder Titan, I actually think he is the new offlane now, or at least one of the new offlane, because the way that Earth Splitter now hits up to 50% is ginormous, or in terms of damage output.
Do you put him in the offlane so you can get a quick 6?
You know how Elder Titan was played when he first was introduced to CM? Just you spam Remnant at offlane, and because now there's for both lanes there's a camp that you could even put towards you that Remnant is going to gather a ton of damage. You can out-trade a lot of supports, and depending on what boots you get, you could even kill supports very easily. But he definitely needs level.
How are you going to level him?
I'm no Earth Spirit player, but I imagine you max
Elder Titan.
Elder Titan, but I imagine you max the Spirit first. You used to actually skip leveling up the ultimate beyond the first because it scaled very poorly, but now you would level that up as well. And then you get your
max between Aura and Stomp.
I still think you go for the Aura. And then
one value
point,
point and Stomp. Right, okay.
The supports play them differently. Like, supports actually prioritize a bit more on Stomp because, you know, you don't expect to max your Aura because your level intake is quite low. But I think this is a new offlane. I've seen it in a game where Earth Splitters just hit like a decked out, what's his face? Bristleback, and the Bristleback just got shredded apart. Also, you could consider building Aghanims for Disarm as well. I'm not sure how appropriately you could land your ultimate to guarantee stuff like that, but there's definitely some strong late game implication with this hero.
You think he'll get picked in competitive?
I think the hero is unique enough because the aura is pretty insane. And I actually seen Elder Titan being ran as a defensive support against Lich Doom in the last patch by a professional team. Basically, when Lich Doom ran at you, you walked up there as a support and you clap, like, just on point on ground. Like, the AoE is so big that it's hard to dive this particular hero. I think the hero has definitely potential to be like a third or fourth pick in the second phase, or maybe even the last pick. He's very, very strong in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, do you have anything else for this or no?
No, I'd say you just about covered it.
All right, Ember not giving vision. Now you can't put it in Roshan and, you know, laugh at the enemy team as they're doing Rosh.
Well, like that and the fact that, yeah, your strategy for, like, BOT bottle is a little bit more unreliable in that you'll have to dump your remnants in a place where you will have vision, like a creep wave following it. You can't just store it somewhere in the jungle because then you might be flying back into a gank.
True. Enigma. I'm gonna skip over Enchantress because yeah, Enigma. I tried a new Eidolon movement speed. It's not anything big enough where it's like, oh my god, they're moving so fast. So you're probably gonna pick up an extra kill or two when Eidolons are chasing for the last hit, but it's no big deal. Malefice to me might be the new skill to max because I mean it's 3 ticks of 90 by level 7 or by level 4 of the spell. That's already pretty respectable damage output for just a stun and a nuke. And the fact that now it also does, combine with your Eidolon, a lot more damage. You might see Enigma just coming out of jungle and snipe people with like a max Malefice, but I'm also not very sure. And then Black Hole getting a buff is nice for the hero because it's always too long for this.
Yeah, it is. I'm surprised you didn't feel like the Eidolon movement speed. I mean, it's plus 60 at max level. It's a pair of boots. It felt pretty significant, but I guess most of the time you'll be pushing a lane and there isn't that much movement involved in pushing a lane.
I just feel that by the time you get to max Eidolon, they also have boots. So without any stun, it's just really hard to keep up with it. But I
mean, but it's compared to last patch though. It's not compared to what it could be.
And boots also got nerfed this patch, right? 5 movement speed, so
5 move speed.
Now maybe you can keep up. I'm actually very curious to check out Atos on this hero. I don't know where you fit it in because you still want Blink and Arcane,
BKB.
And Mech and even so. But I feel like Midnight Pulse plus Malefice plus Eidolons plus Atos, like you could actually solo kill a ton of heroes if they don't have any ways to break away from that combo. Just a kind of a experimental thought. All right, cool. Faceless Void. You want to talk about this one because it's a lot of changes.
Yeah, all right, so he's one of the 5 heroes who was removed from Captain's Mode, or maybe it's 6 heroes, Death Prophet, Doom, Void, Lone Druid, Requiem, Wyvern, 6 heroes. So Backtrack is one frustrating ability has been replaced with another one. Time Dilation applies a debuff to all enemies in a 650 AoE for 6, 7, 8, 9 seconds that will freeze all of your cooldowns and slow you depending on how many that you have. For some heroes, this doesn't matter at all. And for other heroes, this is terrible. Like Bristleback gets Earth Spirit, Bristleback, Timber Saw. Anyone with low cooldown spells, this sucks. Because you will try to combo him. He will Time Walk, which is the other buff, which is basically like a mini time lapse of Weavers, which will rewind any damage that he's taken in the past 2 seconds. And then you won't be able to combo him again because everything you have is on cooldown. It's pretty good.
Right, so I was streaming yesterday, and a whole bunch of people were asking me to play this here on stream, and I just don't understand what this new role is, because you're not like you're not time walking for Chronosphere anymore, because your time walk is 500 range or 550 range. So correct. I think if you're looking to initiate with Chronosphere, like you almost have to buy a blink or just have to walk in.
That's why what I was reading is that he is now confirmed for the offlane. Not so much the way that Universe in TI4 era was just like, I think this whole offlane Void thing might actually work. I think that, well, I don't know, but that's other people are saying that that is the place for him now, because Time Walk gives you free HP if you tank a lot of damage. It's still as good of an escape as it was before because you only really need like 550 range to escape a gank attempt.
And you get healed back.
Exactly.
No, that's not my question though. I definitely think he's fine in the offlane, like his the 2 ability really helps out. But what do you do? What do you do? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, because he still has Time Lock, which is a bash, which isn't really good on anyone other than a right clicker. But the rest of his spells don't really scream right clicker to me.
I want to say he's a very Puck-esque hero at this point, where you blink in, you time dilate after they cast a spell, and you chrono. Like, I actually think he's meant to be played like that. So thus, he's very, very situational.
So you would buy Blink on him just for the chrono?
And Dilate. Because the Dilate, the 600 AoE, or 650 AoE is pretty big, but... I mean, I'm just purely hero crafting.
But here's the thing. You are stalling them out with time dilation, and then you cast the chrono on top of that. But do you really think that even previously that enemy teams would feel like fighting after they get chronoed, and that their spells would be on cooldown before you even enter it? Because if you jump in and you chrono, or if you jump in and time dilate and chrono, you're probably initiating, and the enemies haven't casted any spells yet. If you're counter initiating, then yeah, I agree.
I guess now you can play both, right, with Blink? You either blink into chrono to initiate, or blink into time dilate to counter initiate, and then chrono afterwards.
Okay, I can see that.
It's just, the thing is, like, now you're playing an initiating / counter initiation hero that has no damage. Like, is this just worse than Earthshaker in that particular row? Because Earthshaker comes in and chain stuns your team and deals a ton of damage.
I think he's more kind of Clockwork-esque.
Well, Clockwork deals damage too, so I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, he does. Void does too. I mean, Time Lock still deals bonus damage inside of a chrono. The only thing is that if you're buying a blink, then you're not going to really have that.
Yeah,
much damage.
I don't think you're dealing damage if you're getting a blink. So, like, do you even go blink? That's the question. I don't know, and I'm not. Unless like I'm actually even leaning towards support maybe with this hero. I'm not sure.
Not a lane support. I think it's either off lane or you play in the old way and just deal with this new change.
No, I think
just consider it.
I think lane support has a lot to, like, hear me out with this, right? You start with like either Poor Man's Shield or some sort of very tanky supporting item. You walk up to somebody, trade hits. They will trade hits with you, and you just time walk up to them, healing up what you damage you took, and you trade more hits. And you could even throw in a time dilate depending if they cast any spells, and depending on your safe.
Doesn't flow anymore.
It doesn't. But it heals you, right?
I mean, I can't think of any situation that I'd rather have this than an ogre.
Well, this gives you a Chronosphere. Ogre doesn't, right? That's the difference.
Yeah, but Ogre gives you lane support. Faceless Void can pull this Time Walk shenanigan maybe twice in lane before he's all out of mana.
I think the point I'm trying to make is his laning phase is not that weak to offset what you get out of a support at level 6, which is a Chronosphere, which seems really good to me.
I'd have to see
and Time Dilate, like you said, is like a crippling effect against a lot of teams. I know, we're just spitballing. Like, again, we don't know what this hero is supposed to do, so we're not really sure. Yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, you talk about Huskar because you ran the number on this guy, right?
Yeah, well, I didn't run the numbers, but someone else did. And apparently, maybe like 4 or 5 patches ago, at max Berserker's Blood, he would have about like 99% magic resist. Then it got nerfed, as you can see here, to 84%. And now it's 50%.
That's a pretty big nerf.
Everyone says that Huskar got hit the hardest this entire patch, and I'm fairly inclined to agree, because the other thing that got changed is that Silver Edge isn't dispellable anymore.
Yes.
Which means that Life Break cannot get out of Silver Edge like it used to, which is another massive nerf to him. Even if Berserker's Blood was as good as it was, and that got nerfed, then Silver Edge basically breaks the hero now. Literally.
Did you write that up? Did you prepare that one?
No. I just straight off the dome, man.
Wow, you're so good. I do want to say that if you want to play Huskar, there is a build out there called the Mage Huskar build.
Oh, God.
Look it up on YouTube. Very, very successful at what it does. And most importantly, people will not see it coming.
Children, please don't try this at home.
Alright, Invoker. Neither of us are really sick Invoker players, but I've definitely seen this suggestion being put out a lot in Reddit. And overall, it's a really good buff for level 1 fighting for Invoker, because he used to be not a hero in those fights.
Well, now you have either Cold Snap, EMP, or Sunstrike.
Well, Cold Snap being the best.
Or I guess 2 of them. You have 2 slots at level 1, right? Oh no, but you only have 1 orb. Yeah, so either Cold Snap, EMP, or Sunstrike.
Actually, can you... Yeah. Like, level 1, you get Wex, you get EMP, and throw that thing on the rune spot.
It saps like no mana at level 1. I'll check it.
Will that deter
I'm
people?
Pretty sure no, it won't.
It's 100 mana. It's 100 mana. I think.
That's nothing.
Is that 100?
Well, let me see. EMP, yeah, it's 100 mana. 100 mana and then 50 damage, and you get mana back.
Okay. Well,
I don't think it'll scare anyone.
What about level 2?
Much more intimidating.
What about level 2? Having access to 2 spells at level 2, because it used to be that you can't gank for Invoker, because he needs level 3.
Early on. Right.
So now you can, and now you get a huge variety of spells at level 2. So none of that is great, but it's a spell.
Yeah, a lot of people. This is all buffs to his laning phase. The other thing that was a buff to his laning phase was that some people said that Fairy Fire might be good on him, because Invoker doesn't really need sustained HP regen like a Tango offers, because he already has his Quas Orbs. He needs burst HP regen to survive something, which is what a Fairy Fire offers. And then free damage allows you to get away with being on QW if you have no points in Exort, because you get +2 damage per Fairy Fire. So it's something worth considering.
That's definitely true. Although I feel like once Invoker gets to face boots, he's fine. So it's really just the first couple of minutes that he's trouble with.
So then this is like in place of branches, which a lot of Invokers would like a lot of times build a null tally if they were going to go QW, because they just wouldn't be able to last hit without any points in E unless they had damage items.
Okay. Jakiro base... Oh, did you...
Oh, wait, and one more thing is that... Would you say that Midas is core on him with how many freaking buffs he's getting to level 25 now?
Well, Quas Wex has been played a lot now. And I think most people see games ending before he hits 25. So I think in pro games, no. In pub games, yes. Pub games, definitely yes. Like pub games, you cannot get away without getting Midas. That's my own.
I agree.
Yeah. Jakiro, his base damage is now at 61 average.
Holy crap.
Or like high 50s, like 58, 59. Imagine that plus Liquid Fire, or imagine that at level 1 with Dual Breath. So Somebody says he is now the new off lane. I could see it. Although the old Jakiro off lane, you had double ring of protection, and the ring of protection got nerfed by 1 armor, which is actually big. So you're moving from 6 extra armor to 4 if you want to go for the same build. Yeah.
It's 290 move speed though.
Move speed doesn't matter if you like tank a champ, like a champ.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
It's really hard for supports to come harass you because they come and you just dual breath them and you hit them back. So it's just, I could see him actually being a very insane support because of the harassing capability of Liquid Fire, but I'm not sure. Actually,
I thought he was good last patch too. So,
do you think Aether Lens is a viable buy on this?
Wait, but it won't increase Liquid Fire range. You need Dragonlance to do that.
What about Dual Breath? Same idea as Dragon Breath.
And Ice Path will go longer, but I still don't think it's worth it on him. I'd rather get a Yules.
I think the range is already so good on that.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about a hero that might actually use Aether Lens very well. Keeper of the Light? Question mark. Would you get Aether Lens on this hero? Just for the
apparently it was bugged originally, so apparently it would let you cast Illuminate further than the horses would travel, but I think that's just a bug. It is supposed to buff up the range. And then obviously Mana Leak will have...
Mana Leak. That range. Holy.
At max level, Mana Leak has 1k range, so with an Aether Lens it should be basically Blink Dagger range.
Yeah, he will Mana Leak you, and the cooldown is so low too.
Especially if you Chakra Magic yourself right before doing it.
Alright, here's a true thing with this hero. Like, you still want to farm Ags, even as a support. So he's really constrained on early game items. I don't think you could throw a lens in there casually, so... Will you throw a lens in there casually?
No.
Would you get the
after Ag instead of like BOTs or something?
Would you get the Arcane Boots part at the very least? Maybe.
Ooh.
Because with Arcane Boots, you have infinite mana essentially. You drop your Arcanes and you Chakra Magic yourself.
Yeah, I could see it because a lot of times, as like when you're chilling in the jungle, you're very dependent on your Chakra Magic cooldown to start like speeding up your Illuminate farm. So I could see it.
Although I think getting the point booster is essentially the same thing, right? Because you'll drop point booster before Chakra Magic.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know then.
I could definitely see a scenario where I would get the cloak first, though, depending on how much magic is coming in my way.
Yeah, so turn it into a Glimmer Cape if you don't feel like the game calls for the Aether Lens.
Yeah. Okay, I think Keeper is already good enough, especially now if we're moving back to like the away from Spirit Breaker, Night Stalker, you know, the Keeper killers. I think he will see more games.
Also, this last buff to Chakra Magic is crazy. I haven't seen it, but on paper it seems obscene.
All right, explain it
300. To me. Okay, so Chakra Magic now restores and increases mana capacity.
So
the way it used to work.
Wait. Let me take a guess. If you're full mana Storm,
it's like a Soul Ring.
Okay, that's insane.
It is insane. 300 mana. There are very few spells in Dota that even cost 300 mana to begin with, let alone a surplus of 300 mana. And it lasts for 15 seconds.
So
That's
now
insane.
Now it's acceptable to go Koto, give me mana, even when you're full mana, right?
Yes, that is 100% correct.
All right, just to...
No, but I was doing that before because you say, Kotal, give me cooldown reduction. And so...
Now, nobody knew that, though. Nobody knew that the spell did that stuff.
I know. It's a shame because it's such a nice little bonus that no one takes advantage of, but it makes a big difference.
So, here's the thing. Would you pick Koto with a team composition that you would not pick Koto with before, just with this extra mana, or is it just a big quality of life kind of thing?
It's a big quality of life thing. But I do think that he will be picked more frequently in professional games in general. Dude,
I'm looking forward to Aether Lens Mana Leak. That is the cancer.
I am not looking forward to that.
I mean, I'm going to be the one that's doing that.
Ag, freaking like sieging high ground, we have flying vision, and you just start leaking people on their own high ground.
And then blinding light them.
I'm not looking forward to it.
Okay, here's a hero that I want to talk about. I'm ashamed that Mills is not here because he likes this hero. He's very good at this hero as well. Alright, so Torrent now give vision upon cast instead of when it triggers. Tidebringer being an auto cast ability, meaning you could not use Tidebringer randomly. You could use it whenever the hell you want. So a lot of time in the laning phase, the mid hero will be like, okay, he's going to Tidebringer. Okay, he Tidebringer, I'm going to walk back and start last hitting.
Yeah, because for those of you who don't know, whenever you see his sword light up, that means that Tidebringer is off cooldown. So a lot of times mids would just leave until he uses an attack.
And now that's particularly relevant for the mid laning because Tidebringer you could deny without losing the Tidebringer bonus. So you could just keep the Tidebringer forever.
No, it doesn't work like that.
What do you mean? It definitely works like that.
It won't give you bonus damage on denies anymore.
What do you mean?
That's the trade-off.
When was it changed?
No, I mean like with this change as an autocast ability because autocast ability.
Oh, you have to use it. Fuck.
Right. No. You don't have to use it. You'll be able to use your attack, but you won't be able to Tidebringer deny.
That's a big part of his laning.
I mean, it was a big part of his laning so that you could stall out your auto attack because you're just aggressively denying all your creeps. But I would take this buff any day over being able to do that.
I would take both. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay, so Tidebringer got rescaled a bit, which is, I mean, it's still a ginormous AoE, but you know it's a little bit more fair now. It's even better at level 3, so you know it's all good. And then X. Sorry, did you have before X?
My main issues were a lot of people were like, "Oh, you know, Kunkka is such a bad hero. Why doesn't he buff Kunkka ever?" And the reason that most people would give would be like, "Well, just Luna and Gyro do his job much better." But I liked the way that IceFrog was taking Kunkka in the previous patches, which was buffing X and buffing Torrent. I didn't think that Tidebringer needed a buff, because now, in my opinion, Kunkka is too good at anything, and you can cover his ag to help elaborate on that.
Well, I feel like the Axe is more leaning towards the support side. But
I agree.
I'm I guess adding to your point where I think you're trying to say that now you could pick Kunkka in a blind row. Like first pick Kunkka, and he could fit into any row. Because he could be a support, he could be a mid, he could even be a carry now with the way that Tidebringer has been changed. You don't push out the lane anymore. So, anyways, the Kunkka essentially adds a pseudo vacuum effect to where your boat is going. They could still act out of it.
It's like skewer, more like it.
Yeah, they could still act out of it, like in casting BKB and stuff. But if they don't have any relevant stuff to do out of it, they are going to get sucked into an AoE and just get blown the hell up. So the way that you play support Kunkka a lot of times is you just blow your bolt, even if just for solo kills. You X bolt Torrent and you just get a solo kill. But towards the later on the game, if you go for things like that, you miss out a ton of damage in fights. And having Acceptor just multiplies your damage output in teamfight by a sick amount. You could even do like really cute combos like Torrent on one target, bolt on that one target, and grab the other person into a Torrent bolt combo. So if you could land everything properly, you are outputting an insane amount of damage. So this Acceptor, I would say it is one of the most vital Axe upgrade for a lot of heroes out there.
Depending on how you want to play them.
Oh yeah, if you're playing stuff more. I'm not sure if you buy this as a core.
No, you won't buy this as a core. Because the combo that I was experimenting with, which I'm looking forward to seeing this on the top play one day, is you X yourself, and then you blink behind the enemy team, cast a boat to drag someone, and then return yourself.
That sounds like it's trying too hard.
I mean, you only need to get like one target though, because it's just like Magnus skewer. You blink and you skewer someone back. In this case, you X yourself, and then you use your boat to drag someone back, and then you return yourself.
It's very hard for a support to get blink and X though, so I don't see that happening. But you know, one can dream.
Okay, I'll think about it. But I don't know. If you recall, for repeat viewers, I said that Kunkka was ridiculously good last patch. But the problem is that no professional players know how to use them. The only ones that I can think of are Attacker, who isn't really a professional player, and Sing, who hasn't been playing that much recently. I've never known anyone else to have a, quote, signature Kunkka. And this hero takes a lot of skill to play very effectively, unless you're just being like passive right-clicking all day. So
yeah, I would say the pros, even the 2 players you mentioned, are playing the carry variant of the Kunkka. I think support variant of Kunkka is even better than the carry. Because you're looking at a support that at level 6 could output a damage like a lion. But you can even argue that Kunkka initiates better in the mid-game against certain heroes like Queen of Pain or Ember Sphere, if you could X them back. It's just, there's so much utility with this hero. Like, you can start Xing your hero back if they initiate, Xing your hero back if they want a quick fountain trip. Hero's redonkulous. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Speaking of good axe upgrade, Legion Commander, in my opinion, got a very good one as well. So let's actually start by talking about it. Axe Scepter now makes you and your target immune to all target unless the source is between the duel participants. So it's a true 1v1 when you get the axe. But it no longer lasts forever. Now it lasts for 4.75, 5.5, 6.25 seconds.
Yeah, and you can still get CC'd within it. It just won't deal any damage.
Yes. Thoughts?
I mean, a lot of people were like, oh, wow, this is like actually core now. But the thing is, Ag doesn't help Legion deal any more damage. So are you getting this as a core Legion, or are you getting this as some sort of pseudo initiating Legion? What's the context that you build a Scepter?
I think you build this maybe when you're looking to tank and absorb damage.
So like post Blade Mail, maybe?
Yeah, I think Blink Blade Mail Aghanim's is the build. Because normally you go for Blink Blade Mail BKB if you're facing a lot of fire. But now you just go Blink Blade Mail. You don't... Actually, would you even skip the Blade Mail? Because Blade Mail... No, Blade Mail will still work in duel, right?
Yeah,
okay.
You won't have the damage to kill someone unless you've got a Blade Mail. Because remember, all damage, including your team, won't work on the enemy. So you're going to need to be earning these kills yourself.
I don't see this item being good.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
So scratch what I said about looking like a good axe. I was thinking of scenario where you could dodge spells with this item, but BKB is just better. And it's not like so corner case.
Exactly. Because you risk losing the duel, giving a high value target or a low value target damage by like trying to evade stuff.
Well, my support Kunkka idea is better now.
Yeah, I guess so.
But it's a shit idea to begin with, so.
I wish that it was the infinite duration and the immune from all things.
Then you would just auto kill anybody.
How do you know? You'd auto kill supports.
Yeah, you would
auto kill carries.
I don't think auto kills is good.
Well, I think the main thing is that the griefing potential was outrageous because you could just like put a Bane Nightmare on that duel, and then both heroes are just gonna go make a sandwich because they'll never be in the game again.
You know what's the funniest part is if it was forever, you will pick 2 teams that will just support the dueling participant by casting buffs on them. It's like, here you get a purification, here you get some heal, you get a grave. It's like nobody could damage the other part. It's like a tug of war, and you just like. That would have been hilarious, but alas, not the case. All right, Lifestealer, anything you want to say about this?
The Infest cooldown at level 16 is nice, but right now Lifestealer's issue is the laning phase, and none of this really helps him with the laning phase too much.
I do want to say Rage does to a certain extent, because you could now maybe put a little bit more points into other spells, because it used to be that you tick Rage very highly early.
Well, that's because of the magic immunity scales up.
Yes.
The attack speed was nice, sure, but if you're getting Rage early, it's
you mean the duration? The duration of the magic
duration. Right. You wanted 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds of Rage. The attack speed was nice, but that's more relevant late game also because you're going to be attacking people. Laning phase Rage is more defensive, I feel.
Okay, that's fair. What about from a different angle? Jungling with Iron Talon? 40% instant damage pop means you're healing from Feast, and a significant part of that as well. So I actually see Lifestealer Jungler coming back in a big way. And I'm talking about the life. Yeah, the life.
No, wouldn't you have to put open wounds on them first? Because Feast doesn't lifesteal. Open wounds lifesteals.
That's why we got the game up. Are you out?
Yeah, but I mean, it should work the way that we can test it. Okay, so create hero makes. What is it?
Are you out of slots?
Oh, okay. No, I got him. Okay, and then
Iron Talon. Alright, I gave him Feast. I don't think it'll work with Iron Talon. But
no,
you might...
I think it only works with open wounds.
Wait, why are you not Iron Talon?
I want him to take damage, so I'll see if I lifesteal.
No.
Yeah, I didn't get anything.
But it's still good.
Hold on.
You could open wounds.
If I
do a high HP one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually...
I got a lot of lifesteal.
It's actually pretty insane, in my opinion. Open wounds to get a quick burst heal like this.
Yeah, I mean, and in general, 14-second cooldown on Iron Talon means that your jungling does speed up fairly significantly.
I'm expecting Iron Talon Lifestealer Jungler to be a thing, and not to transition into a full carry, but transitioning into things like now using a Black Dragon to push wave, or ganking with Mud Golem. By the way, ganking with Mud Golem is the way to go. The Hurl Boulder does 125. You Hurl Boulder, pop out of Infest, and then you have two smaller Mud Golems that also pop 125 magic damage per boulder. So you're looking at a ton of magic damage, plus your stun, plus your slow, and your right clicks. You should be able to solo kill just about anybody. And with the other creeps being increased in terms of its utility, you could do a lot with essentially a pseudo-supportive Lifestealer. That's where I'm exploring this hero with in the future.
I like it.
All right, line. Anything big with line?
No, not really. I mean, I was a big fan of getting mana drain early on. Like, my build is 2-1-2 in the laning phase.
Seems good.
Yeah, it seems better now, so.
All right, small buffs. Can we remake a lobby and showcase the Lone Druid's new spell?
Yeah, sure.
Because it's actually absolutely ridiculous in how strong and how funny it is.
Well, I don't know about strong.
You don't think it's strong?
I think it's strong.
Just able to control your opponent?
I thought that the way it would work is that whenever you cast it on either you or your bear, it would have the AoE around you and your bear.
No.
But it turns out the cooldown is shared, but only the unit that you cast it on, it works.
That's fine. Okay, look at it this way. Imagine if this spell was on any other different hero, but now you just get the bonus of being able to cast it on 2 places instead of 1, right? It's just a straight up buff. That's the way I see it.
It's a straight up buff in the sense that synergy is now fed into your...
Free.
Whatever. Yeah, it's free. But the thing is that it costs 50 mana for the roar, and if you're going to have to be casting Rabbit in lane now...
Well, you didn't have to cast Rabbit in lane before. I mean, you just now have another spell to use, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I'm seeing, you know how like Lone Druid gets ganked early? This is an anti-ganking spell. Like, why is this bad? How can this be bad? All right, use your...
It's not bad. I mean, it's a free spell. Yeah, I need to level him up more.
No,
also, you won't really see the effect unless you have boots, because you're very slow otherwise. So I'd recommend giving yourself boots.
Alright, I got it. So now I just run.
Yeah, but it doesn't last for very long at level 1. And do you put more than 1 point of it when there's Rabid to get instead now?
No, I think early on it's a counter-ganking spell. Which is, like, you know how sometimes you get scared and you send your bear in the jungle to scout? You see somebody and you just go like, oh wait, and then you go. I've seen it really mess up team fights in the middle of a chaotic team fight where a lot of people go on focusing on yourself or your supports or whoever, and then you just pop them and they just run away. And especially early on this patch, they don't know what's happening. That just moment of chaos is already enough. And you know how, like, in this particular scenario, you force me to run in a particular direction? You could do a lot of combo gaming.
You can't control it. Pathing to the fountain is very random. But I know some people were like, "Oh, you can put Techie's mines and they'll run."
Oh no, that's just dumb. No, that kind of is dumb. But like combo in a sense that like you could shoot an arrow or you could place an AOE stun, that kind of stuff. You don't. It's just like really good players could take advantages. I thought this was one of the biggest buff that any hero has received this patch. Maybe I'm overestimating how much it does, but I just thought this was an insane spell.
I agree with it's a big buff in the fact that synergy is now part of the bear. I think that's a huge buff. The spell itself, I'm not sold on.
Okay, I guess we'll agree to disagree, but I think this gives the hero a different utility that it never had before, which is able to affect the team fight in more than it's just a single target way. Especially when you don't have Radiance. Like, you could affect team fight a lot more than you ever could
mess up a lot of team fights.
Yeah, you can mess up a lot of team fights.
I think the main thing is that it gives you a guaranteed channel breaker now, rather than being like, get a root, you stupid bear.
Does it cancel channel for sure?
Yeah, it does. You can start to hold on. Let me.
I'm gonna TP. Don't kill me. But I'm still going back to base, so joke's on you.
Not the way you want to, my friend.
All right. I did not think it... Can you BKB this?
It says pierce the spell immunity, no.
Alright. Okay.
So that's the main thing. The team fight, I don't know, aspect of it, I will have to see it to believe it.
We'll meet back in a week and you'll be like, oh my god, that spell's amazing.
Fine.
And you do get the free synergy. Or not... do you get the full synergy as before? I didn't run the number, but it seems pretty close.
I'm not sure if it's full. I think part of it is in Rabbit and part of it is in your bear.
Yeah.
So technically you still have 2 spells to level, but overall in the end you come out ahead.
Cool. Okay, how are we doing on time in this particular segment? I wasn't keeping track.
Neither was I, but let's say we go up to Magnus, and then I think I may have to go.
Alright. Okay, Luna. This I actually tried this. I actually got X.
I want to demonstrate this one because I saw the number and I was just like, this doesn't seem like that big of a
deal. It is
but
absolutely huge deal. Alright, I think it's better if you make an enemy one and then I'll target it onto you and your bear because...
Oh, yeah, okay.
It will give you a good...
Oh, wait, what?
Okay. Well...
Hold on. Okay, there we go.
Level 16.
The thing to keep in mind is, yeah, you need to have an ag. So that's the question. If it was a base buff to whatever, Eclipse in general, then that would be amazing.
With that said, I've definitely seen pro teams actually gone for something like this. Axe.
Was it level 16 ag?
You need the beams. Alright, I leveled it up.
Yeah. Right.
Ready?
Yeah, go for it. No. Use the... Yeah. That's really fast.
That's... You gotta keep in mind that the bear took most of the beams, and the bear lost, like, more than 1,000 HP. I said that was some shitty RNG.
We can try it again.
Alright, refresh it up. Dude, this bear, though. This bear is just tanking it up. Yeah. So I was...
It's pretty crazy.
I was actually trying this in the game, and I just totally did it as a joke, right? I went face boots, or not face boot, I went treads, Aquila into Ags, into Veil. And I would just mop up teamfight like no other. And then I got a refresher ward after that. So, granted, we started losing because we didn't have a true carry, so I had to go back to Manta Butterfly and carry it like that. But,
Jesus Christ, how long was this game?
It was like a 15-minute game. I was farming up very fast because I got multiple kills in every single team fight with this build. So, that's pretty sick. Alright. Next hero, Lycan. You have anything to mention about this hero?
Okay, so this is another one that I need to actually see to be able to put some sense into it, because it seems really nice. Because, okay, so the shapeshift and Lycan Wolves no longer... Wait. Okay, wait, so it says that shapeshift no longer grants critical strike. but it says that now grants all units under your control a 40% chance to crit. Will you, the hero, also have that chance? Oh, okay. Well, in that case, then I'm totally on board with all this. So Lycan Wolves gain cripple at level 2, 20% chance to cripple the target, 8 damage per second, and losing 40 attack speed for 4 seconds. That's a big deal because...
Wait, let's test it out real fast, just to make sure yourself could crit. I'm pretty sure you could have, because I was testing it yesterday as well. But here, make a Lycan, and I'll hit Roche with it. But yeah, we could keep going with the patch. You were talking about the cripple.
Yeah, okay, so I think the cripple's a big deal because a lot of your wolves have tons of magic resist, but they are terrible against right clicks. So in the laning phase, on the off chance that you do happen to land a cripple on someone, that means that you can all of a sudden turn up your damage by a lot, because most of the time people would just kill your wolves with that, like 2 auto attacks. Minus 40 attack speed is like, what, enchant or untouchable at level 1? Maybe even more than that? Let me see.
So confirm you do crit.
The hero itself?
Yes, the hero itself does crit.
Okay, so untouchable at level 1 is minus 40 attack slow, so it's the same thing. That's a lot of slow.
The thing is, are they actually fighting your wolves?
Well, I mean, you're just randomly sending your wolves at them, and you have 2 wolves at level 2, 20% chance to cripple. It's a pretty good chance that you'll probably land a cripple, and then you can start going on them with your hero.
Would you trade the minus 40 attack speed for minus 30 movement speed instead?
Oh yeah, definitely.
In a heartbeat, yeah. Okay, I would
because that helps your late game way more.
It helps your wolves just sniping supports as well early.
Yeah, that's also true. But in terms of, like, yeah, a slow would help out your late game way more than an attack speed slow would. But this is still nice. Okay,
so I tried Shapeshift against Roshan with Necrobooks. You are the new Ursa.
Mm-hmm.
You are actually the new Ursa, because your Necrobooks also get crits. So with Medallion Necrobook, you are murdering Roshan. Obviously, it doesn't work with towers, so you don't push anything faster. But by golly, you are a machine when it comes to killing any single target hero.
Yo, and then you get a Dominator and get an Alpha Wolf. Like, everyone always joked about it before, but with this much damage... That aura, though, man. That aura, though.
Vlad's is your Dominator, right?
Oh, that's
or Vlad's is your Alpha Wolf aura. You still get that. And then...
Yeah, that's fair.
So there's that.
Yeah, I'd say Necrobook is for sure core with this shapeshift change.
I also think this is one of the new OP hero of the patch. Because how... You know, wolves need no armor, right? You can solo carry a game. And Lycan is one of those heroes, in my opinion. So there's that. Magnus?
Was there any reason? No, why wasn't Lycan getting picked before? Like in pro games and stuff like that?
I'm actually not too sure. I always kept saying that this hero is really good, but, you know, what do I know?
Okay, yeah, I think he's pretty good.
Alright, add a scepter to Magnus. Basically makes you give off an Empower aura. And the new Empower is that you could cast on ranged heroes, and they will also cleave for half the value. So basically, if you have Aghanim Scepter, you could cast Empower, or you just stand next to them, and they will also get Empower when you have Axe. But obviously, you cannot cast Empower and then stand next to them and have it stacked, because it does not stack. So... You said you want to talk about this?
Oh, well, I said he was the hero that I wanted to go up to, but I don't think that Scepter is core unless you have someone like a Drow or a... I can't think of another ranged hero that I would really... Yeah...
Can you cleave the glaives?
Yeah, you can. Whoa, you mean will the glaive damage cleave also? That's a good question.
It's not a unique attack modifier anymore. Does that?
Yeah, but like, so then that's like the same thing as saying if you crit, your cleave will crit, right?
Yes, that's the case, correct?
I think so. And so, glaive. I mean, because then you could also put OD on the table.
All right, real question: will your extra arrows from Drow
yes, they
cleave?
do splash.
Holy!
They cleave. I know. Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
So you would get it in that scenario.
Drow, maybe Silencer, maybe OD if their orbs crit, and then maybe Weaver, but I'm not sure.
I mean, it's just extra damage. The thing is, Magnus has a lot of late game options.
Right.
Because you need Blink, you need Force Staff, Refresher, BKB is all possibly better than this. Well, that said, though, a lot of now pro games are picking Magnus simply for the Empower.
Yes. In fact, so much so that I think this is why the Skewer nerf happened, because people were just leaving Skewer at 1, and Ice Frog was just like, no, I'm not going to stand for this.
Wait, this is a buff.
And now it scales.
It's a buff.
It's a buff, but it's a nerf to level 1. The slow got reduced, and your distance got reduced.
No, does that matter? You could offlane much better now with that 150 distance. I don't care about the slow. I don't care about the reduce.
Oh, interesting. I
just care about
distance. Okay,
being able to go.
That,
yeah. And you know when you get a Blink Skewer in the mid game, do you care about them being slow? Because generally when you get the Blink Skewer, they're dead. So I see this as a straight up buff.
Stunned in the RP the whole time.
Well, not just the RP, but more so like if you just Blink Skewer somebody randomly, your teammates are waiting.
It's true.
I see this as nothing but a buff. Yeah, sure, you lose some Skewer slow, but whatever.
Yeah, I had misread it. This is actually surprisingly good.
This is insane.
So much so that I think people will keep Skewer at 1. So never mind, forget everything that I just said.
I might level up to 2. For maybe not. Maybe you even need it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in the offlane, you'd rather have the Empower so that you can last hit under tower.
Yeah. Heroes OP.
It's pretty good.
All right, I guess.
Unfortunately, I think. Well, yeah. Let me scroll through real quick to see if there's anyone else I want to casually mention before you cover them yourself. The thing that I was about to say is I think that Tusk didn't get nerfed enough.
Yes.
We'll see if pro players agree, since Tusk is basically picked in every single game. Oracle, I'll help you with that real quick, since last time you didn't know the spells, and I'm inclined to believe that you still don't know the spells.
Damn, man, I'm an Oracle player in pub games.
Oh, for reals? You took that advice to heart? You said that you would do it after last patch analysis.
Yeah, I'm playing Oracle then.
Okay. Well,
although apparently I don't know the spells because wait, did it get changed from the Oracle? I assume so. This looks like a very
still named the same.
Yeah, this is looks to be a very different Oracle than what I've learned.
He's a bit different. Yeah. And then see if anyone else I wanted to mention. Oh yeah, one thing I wanted to say about Shadow Fiend is that I don't think he got nerfed enough either, but it depends on how much this stacking magic resist aura from the centaur is going to be factored.
More to come later. I definitely will mention a lot of those.
At that point, you'll mention it. I'll have to leave you now, unfortunately.
All right. Have a good night. That was at Tsunami 476.
You're not even trying anymore.
What is it?
643.
643. I got the numbers right. And of course, you can find more about his videos on Reddit and whatnot. And of course, the patch lock analysis when continued in the next episode. I'll talk about things like actually the next one. There's like a lot of things I'll skip. Probably Oracle and OD is the two main talking point about that one. Hope you guys enjoyed the patch analysis so far. I know it's been long, but there's a lot more coming your way. Thanks for watching, guys.